Let's go to question number 2. Question number 2 is from Steve in Maine. Steve says, what is lockout tagout and how can I apply this while terminating fiber? What is lockout tagout? So lockout tagout procedures, basically it's a process or some kind of a working arrangement where you lock out an electrical cable or some kind of a cable or some kind of device so nobody can turn it on or reactivate it while you're working on the other end of the cable because it could potentially injure you or kill you. So lockout tagout procedure, the old-fashioned ones, basically, not the old-fashioned ones, but the electrical ones. So they got like a red triangle with like holes in them, and it's got the two squares. When you close them down, those holes overline over top of each other, and there's a hook that goes into the breaker. It stops you from turning on the breaker, and then you put a padlock through those two holes. Now, if there's more than one person working on that electrical device, another person can put on their padlock, another can put on their padlock, and they can hold. There's all different kinds. There's ones with 6, there's ones with 10, right? So theoretically, if you get done working with you take off your padlock, but if there's still another padlock on there, nobody can still reactivate it because there's still somebody else working on the other side of that device. That's called lockout tagout procedures. By the way, pro tip number 1 for tonight: if you're doing lockout tagout procedures and you're doing that very kind, like I just mentioned, print out a label with your brother system's labeling machine and put your name and your phone number on that lock. So if somebody needs to get a hold of you so they can reactivate it, because let's be honest, what happens sometimes? Sometimes somebody gets busy and they forget to take off their padlock, and that device is off until they can locate whose padlock that is, because they don't want to cut it off, because they cut it off and turn back the circuit back up. There's a potential for injury because they don't know where it is and who's going to be involved with that. So there's also OSHA, the Occupational Safety and Health Administration, has some really hefty fines if you don't follow lockout tagout procedures. You can find those in CFR, which is Code of Federal Regulations, I think. Oh, that's a good acronym. I need to put that in the acronym challenge. CFR 1910.147. If you want to go look them up, there's some huge fines if you don't follow those, because again, it's a potential life safety issue, right? So because it says every company should have a lockout tagout procedure in place, especially when you're working with energized equipment. And again, even technically we're low voltage. Fiber has no voltage on it. But if you look in the unprotected end face with your unprotected eye, you can damage the retina in your eye.